Hi, this is Amy Tate. I'm here with Insider Travel Report, and I'm here today with Conrad Combrick from the Silversea's Expeditions and Experiences Senior Vice President. I have some questions for you about kind of your role and a little bit more about the expedition side of the cruising here. You've been cruising now for 10 years. How did you get into expeditions?
Well, Silversea has been around in the cruise industry for 25 years. In fact, we are celebrating 25 years. And 10 years ago, the chairman and owner of Silversea Cruises saw an opportunity in the market to deliver a very unique style of travel, and that is expedition combined with luxury. Until Silversea decided to do luxury expedition travel, the expedition segment of the cruise industry really was for older ships, very bare amenities, quite often bunk beds, very basic service elements on board. And we really had a very deep look at what an expedition experience is and what it can be with the luxury segment, and we just couldn't find an answer to why we should not do it. And it really was for us a very interesting period 10 years ago that when we introduced Silversea Expeditions. It's been extremely successful. We've been very blessed with the very loyal support from our clientele and our various partners. And we really set the bar quite high, I believe, and now there are many companies following us with the luxury expedition segment.
So can you tell me a little bit more about how it's evolved over the 10 years then?
So we started with one ship. In fact, today, 10 years ago, we celebrated the launch of our first ship, the Silver Explorer. We sailed from London Tower Bridge to Svalbard Archipelago in the northern part of Norway. And since then, we have consistently grown the fleet over the 10 years from one ship to four. We now operate year-round in the Galapagos, where we have a ship operating itineraries, departing every Saturday. An incredible destination. It is so unique and so rich with wildlife. And we are the only luxury operator, the only luxury company that has a ship in the Galapagos. We also have a ship, the Silver Discoverer, that travels to very remote parts of the world, from the coast of Kimberley, the Kimberley coast in Australia, Bangladesh. She operates right now in Papua New Guinea, so very remote destinations, including the Russian Far East. And then, of course, ultimately for us, this is a wonderful continuation of our story. The ship that we are on, the Silver Cloud, of course, started our story. This was our first ship in the fleet, and she was converted last year from a classic cruise ship to an expedition ship with an ice-strengthened hull. We took the ship out of service for nearly 3 months, and a multi-million-dollar conversion of the ship, strengthened the hull, completely refurbished the ship interior. We added various elements to the vessel to turn her into an expedition ship, and she entered service as this gorgeous expedition ship, and honestly the most luxurious expedition ship ever to go to these regions that we are visiting.
It definitely is a beautiful ship. Can you tell me more about kind of the new places you're going with the expeditions, or what's the most unusual place you've ever been to?
We have visited nearly 12,000 ports in the 10 years, or made 12,000 landings in the 10 years that we've been operating, and we continue to try and find that unique and interesting destination. It's not only finding a new destination, that is not always that important. It's how you deliver that destination. So we really like to spend a lot of time looking at how we will interpret each and every single destination that we visit for our guests. Some of the unique and quirky destinations that we have visited, of course, is Bangladesh, when we became the first cruise line ever in the history of the country to visit Bangladesh, the west coast of Africa, places like Togo, Benin, Ghana, Cameroon. We have very in-depth programs that we created for ourselves, for our clientele. A highlight for us a few years ago was the Northwest Passage, when we cruised with our Silver Explorer from Greenland to the USA, to Alaska. In the near future, we'll be doing the Northeast Passage. And there are many other examples in New Zealand, Subantarctics, and some of the favorites, of course, Papua New Guinea. Currently, the Silver Explorer in Papua New Guinea on our way to Vanuatu, where we will be experiencing a unique ceremony of land diving, where the community actually get together this time of the year and they celebrate the yam harvest, and they jump from these 30-meter high towers, and basically with vines attached to their ankles, and when they jump they have to touch the ground with their heads to ensure a successful yam harvest the next year, and our guests will be experiencing that in the next week.
That sounds really exciting and kind of scary at the same time. So
it's fascinating. There are so many incredible culture and wildlife opportunities, and expedition ships like the Silver Cloud, Silver Explorer, and Silver Galapagos, Silver Discoverer are uniquely equipped to let our guests have these experiences, these immersive experiences, yet come back on board the ship and be greeted by name, have somebody remember their favorite cocktail, and have the service delivery that Silversea is so well known for.
Yeah, it really is, and I was enjoying some of that over the last couple of days. So where do you see the company going in the next 10 years?
Well, certainly there has been a big expansion for us in our classic fleet, and with Silversea Expeditions we've just added the Silver Cloud, so we are very fortunate about that. We are very fortunate that our vessels are loyally supported by our trade partners as well as our guests. And the industry is growing, so we certainly are keeping a very close eye on that and hopefully growing with the industry. Certainly there's no reason for us not to. But ultimately for us is making sure that whatever we do it in a way that stays true to our DNA, and that is delivering on a unique destination experience. That is absolutely the utmost importance.
And they really do. And I'm Amy Tate with Insider Travel Report.